I've always been known as the nice one, the one who goes out of their way to help others, who puts everyone else's needs before their own. And for a long time, I took pride in that reputation. I thought that being nice was the key to being a good person, to being liked and respected by others. But lately, I've started to realize that being too nice can actually be a weakness. It can be a way of avoiding conflict, of not standing up for yourself or what you believe in. It can be a way of letting others walk all over you, of being taken advantage of. I remember a time when I was in a relationship with someone who didn't treat me well. They would constantly put me down, criticize me, and make me feel like I wasn't good enough. But because I was so nice, I never stood up for myself. I never told them that their behavior was unacceptable, that I deserved to be treated with respect. I thought that if I just kept being nice, if I just kept trying to make them happy, that things would eventually get better. But they never did, and I realized that by being too nice, I was actually enabling their behavior. I was allowing them to treat me poorly because I never set boundaries or stood up for myself. It was a hard lesson to learn, but it was an important one. I realized that being nice doesn't mean letting others walk all over you. It doesn't mean sacrificing your own happiness and well-being for the sake of others. It means being kind and compassionate, but also standing up for yourself and what you believe in. I started to set boundaries in my relationships, to speak up when something wasn't right, to prioritize my own needs and happiness. And you know what? It was liberating. It was empowering. I felt like I was finally taking control of my life, like I was no longer a doormat for others to walk all over. I also realized that being too nice can actually be harmful to others as well. When you're constantly putting others' needs before your own, you're not allowing them to grow and learn from their own mistakes. You're not allowing them to take responsibility for their actions and their impact on others. I remember a friend who was always bailing on our plans at the last minute, always expecting me to be understanding and forgiving. And for a long time I was. I would make excuses for them. I would let it slide. But eventually I realized that by being too nice, I was actually enabling their behavior. I was allowing them to continue treating me and others with disrespect because I never held them accountable. So I started to speak up. I started to tell them how their actions were affecting me, how it wasn't fair for them to constantly expect me to be understanding and forgiving. And you know what? They didn't like it. They didn't like being called out on their behavior. But you know what else? They started to change. They started to take responsibility for their actions, to prioritize our friendship, to show up when they said they would. Being nice is important. Being kind and compassionate is important. But being too nice can be a weakness. It can be a way of avoiding conflict, of not standing up for yourself or others. It can be a way of enabling harmful behavior and allowing others to take advantage of you. So if you're like me, if you're known as the nice one, I encourage you to take a step back and evaluate your behavior. Are you being too nice? Are you sacrificing your own happiness and well-being for the sake of others? Are you enabling harmful behavior by not setting boundaries and holding others accountable? It's not easy to break out of the nice mold. It's not easy to start prioritizing your own needs and happiness. But I can tell you from experience, it's worth it. It's worth it to stand up for yourself, to set boundaries, to hold others accountable. It's worth it to be kind and compassionate, but also strong and assertive. So stop being too nice. Start being kind, but also firm. Start prioritizing your own needs and happiness. Start standing up for yourself and what you believe in. You'll be amazed at how empowering it can be.